We are going to start with the bear, with our fluffiest friends. We've been working with bees and honey. I thought, let's add the bear and honey. So I'm going to switch cameras and point you down to my workstation and we'll get started. Okay, I don't need the light from the overhead light. The window's doing just fine. You will see that there is some grid paper here. That's because all of my research that I did on how to stop your glass mat from glaring during recording said don't use your glass mat during recording. So I'm still using my glass mat. It's hiding under here, but I put paper on top of it to reduce the glare. All right. We are using a piece of basic black cardstock for the card base. And then we have a piece of basic white for the inside. I've already stamped the bear on it. And then we are going to be using a piece of the Be Mine honeycomb patterned paper. Trying to let you see it without the glare from the window. And a strip of pecan pie paper. And then we're going to do some cutting with our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And I just realized something, which is that I will need the bigger Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine for one of the things. And I didn't bring it. So I'll have to go get it here after a bit. But in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and cut all of these small pieces. Some leaves left over from the last time I did this. There are quite a few leaf dies in this set. And I didn't use it all last time, so I have enough leaves. But I need a branch and I need the beehive and a couple of little pieces of grass. And it keeps falling off my cut and emboss, so I just have to slip it back. A branch. Grass. Let's see if I can do grass and the beehive at the same time. Not sure how that will work. And I just realized that I do not want the entire thing to be adhesive back because I want the blades of grass to move freely and not be stuck down. Let's see how this works. My paper is slipping and sliding everywhere. My beehive and my little pieces of grass. And also put my done. And we are using the larger Stampin' Cut Emboss machine. Let's move the camera just a little so you can see it. And we will be cutting a frame right out of the center of the card base. So we're going to say this is the front of our card base. And we're going to want the frame right there. I'm going to grab some washi tape and stick it right where I would like it. Hopefully it does move. That's all I needed the larger Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine for. And only because the paper is larger than the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine take. I think I'm going to need that extra piece, but I will keep it for later. Put my cut and emboss machine pieces back. Okay. Now we have the front of our cut of our card. You have a nice little cave, but not a cave. We're going to be putting some other pieces on the front, and we'll be putting the piece with our bear right on the inside. So I think we're going to add some bees flying around the bear. But first, we're going to put our card together. Honeycomb up at the top, and Then I'm just going to run a thin line of glue, and we are going to attach our pumpkin pie strip, and then I will cut off the ends. Flip it over so you can see the back and see where you need to trim the ends of your pumpkin pie piece off. Then we're also going to get the whole branch and beehive and leaves all taken care of right there as well. Up there, but not where I want it there. I think I want it more like that. Put some glue on the back so it'll actually stick. And I'm going to put it right about there. The finger sticks better than the actual branch. And then I'm going to take the beehive itself and use my black marker to color in the hole. We're going to pop that up with the dimensional. Then glue a few little leaves to the branch. And I'm going to put a strip of some glue along part of the bottom here and glue my grass. Oops, put that on backwards. And then I'm going to set this aside and bring back my inside, and we're going to do a little bit of stamping. Going to put some bees buzzing around the bear's head. Then I'm going to take a blender pen with my Daffodil Delight so it can add some color to those bees. While we're doing this, we're just gonna. Now I have a yellow marker that we're gonna be using for the honey. Now you don't have to color in your bees or your bear, but I just wanted to. And I am going to be using some of my Stampin' blends. This is my light Daffodil Delight. And I am just actually going to use the narrow end and outline and fill it in with the fatter. All right, you don't actually need to use the brush tip at all. Okay. And then I'm going to add just a little bit of pink in the bear's cheeks, and we're going to blend those out here in a little bit. His cheeks and ears. I have the Naturals markers, Friends markers, and I can never remember which one is which color. So I made myself a little chart, and these are all, they just have numbers 100 to 1000. So I used each marker to write 1 through 10. So I can kind of maybe see. I think I want to use 4. if you have a way to keep them not in a sack where they're all jumbled together, that will definitely help. But I don't exactly. So I'm pulling out the ones that I'm going to want to use. I think 9, maybe 5, maybe 6, definitely 4. I find 4 though. Here it is. Okay, so I'm going to start by using 4 with this aside for now, and doing all of the outline of bear and making brush strokes like hair. Now I'm going to go back in. Sorry, I needed to um, take care of that, outlining his paws and his nose a bit, or his muzzle, whatever you call that. Okay, now I'm going to go back in with, I think, the 6. That's the 5. And I'm going to start blending some of it in. Try to be careful on his paws because he has little pads that I'm going to want to add a different color to. When you're blending, it really does work better to do what you think you need and then walk away and let them all blend together for a while before you come back. Because it makes a difference. It does pretty magical things in time. Okay. I want to do his paws and his muzzle. in this lighter color. And I did not figure out when I was pulling out markers what I wanted to use for his honey pot. His pot could technically be whatever color we want. And I think I'm not going to make it brown because I would like it to have a distinct difference from his body. So I'm going to pull out my blends and we will look and see what other colors we have. I only have one daffodil light and no lemon lime twist. And we're not going to do brown. Maybe we'll just do black. If you have the dark basic black and that's dark smoky slate. Let me see. And I have light smoky slate. So maybe we'll just do a gray honey pot. Okay, we're going to outline everything in the dark again. All the shadings, all the lines that they have left. And then we're going to come back across it with the light smoky slate. The brush tip of my light smoky slate is out of commission. So we'll just be filling it in with the thinner tip. And there we have the inside of our card. So we will go ahead and glue that down. As you can see, I made a mistake stamping the first one, so you flip it over, and there you go. And be careful with your blends. They will bleed through your paper. So you want to make sure that this is what you're gluing onto a card. It's not the card itself. Okay. And then, last thing we have to do is to get a scrap of white. And we're going to stamp the sentiment. And we are markering the sentiment to give it different colors. So we're doing the same thing we did before. We are using real red and the blender pen with daffodil white and then basic black for your sweet as honey. So you definitely want to color the letters that you don't want highlighted in the black. Then we are doing sweet in the real red. And honey, we are doing with the blender pen and daffodil delight. And this worked the last time, so we'll see. And then you want to puff on your markered stamp before you stamp with it to activate the ink. Then go ahead, stamp it, and there it is. You're as sweet as honey. I'm going to grab my trimmer and just cut a very thin sentiment. Trying to figure out where to attach that. I'm going to cut a little extra off my sentiment. Make it as thin as we can without hopefully cutting off any letters. Off close to the white and honey. And then we're left with a very thin sentiment label that we're going to put somewhere on this card. That's right where I'm going to attach it, which means I'm only putting glue on here. We're attaching it right here. And there is our card for today. You're as sweet as honey. And then you open it up, and there's your sweet little bear with the bees.